Welcome in.
I need to change the batteries in this remote. It's getting worse and worse.
Welcome into the Bogey Bro Banter,
Probably easier to just get a new one.
the show where we just banter as Bogey Bros.
Yes.
We never really know what we're going to talk about until we sit in front of these mics, and that's what makes this show great. You know?
I'm Konner.
Did I make the coffee taste like acid today?
No, it tasted good.
Good. I figured it out.
It was solid.
Trevor, you did a great job making this coffee. It's really good, man.
Yeah, especially the
super
can
good.
design.
I
and
never
everything.
have liked those double shot things. I tried it
either.
twice. Maybe I had a
I
different
like
one. I don't know.
nitro
I like 'em.
cold brew. It's like canned.
Yeah, those are much better. This is like,
There's a place in Charlottesville called Snowing in Space, and
Oh,
I've
that's
never
cool.
been to it, but I've had their canned nitro cold brew,
Snowing in space.
and it's incredible.
that sounds like a place, genuinely, that sounds like the name of a place that would have really good cold brew.
They have really good
Nitro
cold brew. That's all they do. It's cold brew, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, snowing in space.
Let me Google it. But
Spacing in snow.
I put this out on Twitter yesterday.
Snowing in space.
Yeah, Snowing in Space Coffee, nitro cold brew. Their branding's sick as well. You can order it online.
Everybody's nervous right now because they're like, please don't talk about
I'm
coffee.
not going to talk about coffee
again.
the whole podcast. But so yesterday I'm making this specialty cup of coffee, right? No, so I tweeted about this actually. I was scrolling through TikTok like a solid 3 or 4 days ago. And y'all know who Jocko Willink is?
Yeah, he wakes
That
up
like
at
Navy
5.
SEAL guy.
Wakes up at 4:30.
Oh, okay.
And
I
like
think I've
super,
heard of him,
yeah.
yeah.
So he's talking about how he gets up at 4:30 every day.
And goes to bed like late.
Yeah. He
goes
doesn't
to
get
bed
much
like
sleep.
10:30 or 11.
He doesn't get much sleep. But so he's on a different podcast. I don't know what podcast he was on, but he's talking about how he went to bed. He gets up at 4:30 a.m. every day, and then some whoever's on the podcast was like, "Don't you ever like, just get tired in the middle of the day though?" He's like, "No, I take 10-minute power naps."
Yeah.
And the person's like, "What?" And then I'm watching the TikTok, and I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, you put your feet above your heart, you put your feet up on like a couch or something, lay down,
Yeah.
feet above your heart, 10 minutes." He's like, "It's like you sleep for 4 hours." And then the TikTok ended. And I like
Well-
watch it, and I was like, "That's bullcrap."
Here is what I will
That's
say.
utter
that.
bullcrap. But yesterday, I get home.
Tried it.
I ran, finished my run, got back, showered, ate dinner. I'm exhausted, and I have to do debate night. And I'm like, gosh darn it, dude, I'm so tired. I was like, you know what? We're going to try it. And so I told her, I was like, I'm going to take a 10-minute nap. And she goes, a what? And I was like, a 10-minute nap. She did the same thing to me. She's like, that's so stupid. I was like, I know, but I'm going to try it. So I put my feet up on my fireplace, set my alarm for 10 minutes, closed my eyes. The deepest sleep I've ever been in my life. The alarm went off and I woke up. I literally felt like I just got a full night's rest. I'm not even kidding.
Here's what I'll say.
It was insane.
I've
Wow.
never been a big napper. The only time in my life I was really a napper was during college because it was just a necessity. But I've always been the kind of napper that like if I go down for a nap, I mean business, and I'm waking up 3 hours later.
That's normally
and
how
I feel
I
like I
am.
got hit by a truck. However, I can kind of vouch for that theory because whenever my wife had our baby and we were in the hospital, like those first couple nights, you don't sleep much, and that's kind of how you slept. Was you got like little stretches of maybe 20 or 30 minutes, and getting just one of those little stretches in was like a very big victory, and you did feel like, okay, I can go another couple hours. So I do believe in the
It was
power.
something with my feet being above my head.
That I've never heard. That is
I don't
the
know
one
what it was.
I want to test that one out.
But like at one point, I remember during 10 minutes, first off, felt like an eternity. But then like
that is why I believe in that too, though.
like
is because
7 minutes, like I don't know what point, but some point in it, I like had consciousness,
Right.
and I was like, I feel like I'm like high now.
As long as this, as long as
and then
the
I was back
science
asleep, and
checks
then the
out-
alarm went off, and I was like, I sat up, and I was like, this is incredible.
Well, as long as the science checks out, because like when you're asleep, obviously, usually you don't really know how long you're asleep. You just wake up and like it could have been. The reason you like look at your phone is because you're like,
How
holy
long did I
cow,
sleep
how
for?
long was I out? It could have been 10 minutes or it could have been 4 hours. You don't know, and a lot of times you're surprised at what you see because you can't really tell based on just how you feel when you wake up.
Yeah.
So like as long as like it actually is beneficial to get 10 minutes of sleep, then like I'm totally behind it. I'm just never really a napper. The only time I'll find myself napping these days is maybe on like a Sunday afternoon. If I find myself like laying down on the couch watching like golf or something, I can snooze out a little bit.
It's a weekly routine. Liz and I will get home from church on Sunday. We turn on like a true crime documentary.
Yeah.
We watch like maybe an episode and a half, and we watch in our bedroom, and then we just pass out. And we wake up like 3 hours later at dinner time, and we're both just like, well, what the frick?
The key is now.
Bad part is 10 o'clock rolls around. We normally are like going to bed, and we're both
Not
just
tired.
wide awake.
Well, the problem is for that, I feel like I
But
used
I
to
feel
have that
it's
routine,
amazing.
and now trying to get Brooks to cooperate with that is he doesn't like to cooperate with that a lot of
I'll
times.
just put him in a different room.
Yeah, just lock him in there. Just,
I'm definitely not a
Go to sleep.
napper. Whenever
I
I
have
take
to
a
make a
nap,
conscious
it kind of
decision,
ruins
too.
my day. because
Yeah,
I do the
hate
same
wasting
thing.
the day.
I'll fall asleep, and if it's for like an hour, even I'll wake up and I'll just be exhausted. Like I'll just be so tired, and the rest of my night I'm just exhausted and in a bad mood. But if I do fall asleep for like 20 minutes. Or somewhere around then I wake up and I do feel better. That's definitely.
Well, I think it's like
I have heard that the best thing to do if you're really really tired is a 20-minute nap and a cup of coffee. Those combined to make you the most energized.
Once I shake off, like even when I take the long naps, I mean it is like the worst I ever feel. Like I feel so just disgusting. But like once I shake it off, which takes me a little bit, maybe a half an hour, and I shake off that initial grossness, I do like later that day feel more energized. Now, unless you take it too close to nighttime, then you're just toast.
Yeah.
But if you take one like in the afternoon and you wake up at like 4 o'clock and you went down at like 1, like once I get like past dinner time, I'm gonna be like alive and well. Like let's go. But I'm the type of person too. Like I don't just fall asleep. I get enough sleep at least these days, even with a baby that cries, that like I'm tired when I go to bed at night. I wake up on time, but like I'm not like in the middle of the day like passing out. There's only been like certain times during college where I had that much tiredness that like I will literally just start falling asleep. So I have to make a conscious decision to take a nap. And for me, I'm such a like, it's the reason I don't like sleeping in either, especially on weekends, is because I hate wasting my free time. Like, I'm not even the type of person to like to sit down to watch a movie a lot of times because like I don't want to commit to wasting that much or using that much of my free time. Not even a waste. So like I have to very much say I'm going to take a nap, and I have to be very tired to decide to do that.
I understand that. I'm with you on that.
It's a lot easier. I feel like too, like on a Sunday, especially like when I like to take naps, that's your last day of the weekend. Like if it's a Saturday or a Friday evening or whatever, naps are in play. But I'm just never tired those days. I don't know. Some people like napping is like their hobby.
Yeah,
they like it is a huge part of their life.
Person.
And I never got it until I got to college, and like I would literally I had a different relationship with sleep in college to where like I loved it, and like I would get home, I'd go to my 8:15 class, get home, and just go back to bed before my 12 o'clock class or whatever. Like I would find time for sleep, and I loved it, and I've never at any other point in my life treated sleep that way.
No, dude, if I was taking a nap, there's no way I was going to my class. No way.
I had to have if I was going to sleep, I had a very significant gap until the next class. But then, and the best was I think there was one semester where I had an early class, like an 8:15, and I had nothing the rest of the day. So I would literally, or maybe I had something way later. So I would literally just go back, fall back asleep, and like that was the day. Like I just had to get that one class out of the way and just sleep it off like it never happened.
To me, the way that I thought about it was if I was taking a nap, I was missing out on YouTube time. And I really valued my YouTube time.
I did too. I wish I could consume YouTube the way I used to, because these days the way I consume YouTube is usually like if I'm eating a meal or whatever, and like we'll put it up on our TV at home and just kind of scroll through recommended and just see if anything pops out. But like the way I used to consume YouTube, like all through middle school, high school,
you had your channels.
I had my subscriptions, and then I went to my subscriptions box, like feed, and that's not really how people browse YouTube anymore.
No, back in the day, that was
literally watched them all. I scrolled through them, and I was always caught up. And if I missed a few days, like if I was like at a winter camp or something, and
then it'd be awesome because you had hours of YouTube.
I would almost get stressed about it. I'd be like, oh my gosh, I've got like 40 videos I need to watch.
How am I going to choose?
How am I going to catch up? And like I was like, oh, maybe I don't need to watch that.
I had a few YouTubers that I like Casey Neistat. It was my daily routine to watch Casey Neistat's vlog.
I watched so many.
Rhett and Link. I went through
through
Good Mythical Morning stretches.
Yeah.
But like there was a lot of like different YouTube things that I was into, like a lot of like video game like playthroughs and series like that. And then there was a lot of like disc golf. YouTube was obviously huge for me. Like I watched a lot of that. I'd be curious.
I used to watch a lot more round coverage. Like,
oh yeah.
Well, I would go back and just watch. rounds that I'd seen before, like the 24. It's There was one round that I loved watching that was just the most obscure round of all time. It was like, I think it was a Pittsburgh Flying Disc Open.
Yeah.
It was like 2014
for me,
or something.
YouTube time for
that was
me,
a random one, but I watched it probably 30 times at least.
The thing is, like, it was very time consuming. Now, that was, for me, back in the day, that was the only TV that I consumed, really.
Yeah.
Now, for me, when I watch things, it's more of a social activity with my wife. Like, so like she doesn't have an interest in my YouTube subscriptions, even if they were updated, probably.
No, if I'm watching YouTube nowadays, I'm watching Liz's lifestyle vloggers.
Yeah. And hey, I get into some of them.
I like to make fun of a few. There's one that
there's
Liz
some
watches.
that like I make fun of, but there's some of them I'm on board. You know what
I think her name's like what's the frick? It's like Hey Baby,
Okay, baby?
Hey or something. No, it's like
okay.
it's this blonde chick, and she finishes every sentence on a high note.
Oh gosh.
So if she's talking, it sounds exactly like this, and
dude.
she can't finish a sentence without going
My
up.
YouTube is sad these days.
Oh my word!
that.
Like Liz watches it, and I'm like, Liz, why are you watching this chick? And
That's
she's like,
bad.
I don't know. And then her boyfriend, I can't stand him.
The latest-
I'm finding her name.
Literally, like, this is how crazy my YouTube. Like, I've always been into food YouTube. Like, I watch a lot of cooking. I just love cooking television.
Yeah, Hey.
Okay.
I'm gonna play one video so you
Please.
can just hear her talk.
The one that I've been into lately
Play
is,
less than 10 seconds so we don't get copyrighted.
We shouldn't
this guy
copyright
follows
him.
the law these days.
I gotta find.
I've been
watching
lately. What I've been watching
though.
is like literally this mom making school, like it's like what my kids eat in a day, and she makes these ridiculous meals for her kids, and it's very entertaining. That's where I'm at. Or I'm digging myself into a hole with how pathetic I am. But now I was watching grocery shopping hauls. That was entertaining for like giant families of like 10, like what
That
their
can be
groceries are.
fascinating.
Yeah.
Love it.
All right,
I just
this chick's
love it.
talking. Here
I
you
eat
go.
that crap up.
Just this silk robe that I have, and the band is like nice because then I can do my makeup with it on and my skincare. But I already did my skincare. I'm gonna do makeup now, and
Like every single sentence.
Now?
Like no, like she can't finish without going up.
I also,
if you're listening to this, I'm sorry, but you really annoy me.
We also found
I don't
this,
think
like,
she is.
I don't think she would, but if somehow
Let's all make her feel a little bit more comfortable.
my
though.
wife loves you, my wife loves you.
We
His
found
wife
this
loves
couple-
you.
We found this couple the other night. We found this couple the other night that lives in a 50s aesthetic. Like they're like
Wow.
trapped themselves in the 50s practically. And like, so that was like but like YouTube for me these days is just very weird. But like back then, like it's just such a time consuming hobby because like my YouTube time for me was, well, when I was homeschooled, I would just watch it like in between schoolwork throughout the entire day. Like I would be like, okay, do my math, watch some YouTube, do my whatever's next, and like that would just be part of my day because like I'm just hanging out at home doing my schoolwork. Like I would just that's just kind of it would be like if you were studying or doing homework.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of how a lot of people do that. Another thing, my other YouTube time was at night, like before bed. I would just lay in bed and until I was tired, I would just watch YouTube. And these days, like I don't have those same time allotments where it's just like, okay, I just need to kill time. That's what YouTube was for me. And it was great. I loved watching YouTube, but it's just not the same for me anymore. It's just not what it was.
It's not the same.
When was your YouTube time?
My YouTube time.
I feel like yours was like all the time.
It was like all the time. So in college, it was just every time I wasn't doing something else. Like if I had 30 minutes before my next class, I was finding a place to sit and pulling out my phone and watching YouTube.
Yeah, really though.
And it was genuinely because like I learned. So I went to college for music and I have a full-time job in what I YouTubed. like I literally learned most of the practical things I have from YouTube. And so I would watch it for entertainment, but also because I'd be so interested in something, I'd be like, I have to know how to do this someday. And so I literally in between everything, I would just
I was trying to balance my phone on a pen.
Okay.
Sorry.
I would just watch YouTube all the time.
Yeah.
But
I'd be curious, like every once in a while, I'll just like click on my subscriptions tab and just scroll through a little bit and just the rush of nostalgia I get.
Yeah.
Of like, oh my gosh, I forgot I was subscribed to them. I'd love to go through and look through my whole list because I probably subscribed to, I don't know. Can we check how many people were subscribed to on
do you
YouTube?
guys use your watched later?
No.
I would
think
only
I
do
might
that-
be one of the only people that use it.
I would only do that for like tutorials that I knew I would need the reference later.
I use it all the time because I'll scroll through like for example while I'm going to the
I don't think
bathroom.
it gives me a number.
If I'm going to the
But it's a
bathroom,
lot.
like a lot of people will scroll through. You guys hear me?
Yes.
A lot of people will scroll through like Instagram. Like I'll like while I'm going to the bathroom or something, while I'm doing something where a normal person would scroll through social media, I scroll through YouTube. And I don't have time to watch the video, so I just scroll through YouTube and see what do I want to watch later whenever I have time, and I add it to my watch.
Well, the
later.
reason I didn't use that is because I only scroll through my subscriptions pretty much exclusively. So I was gonna watch it later because I would just work my way up the list.
That makes sense. Yeah, I do a lot of recommended. I look at a lot of recommended.
It doesn't look like you can see, but I mean, I have to scroll through my subscriptions for quite a while.
I don't have a ton of subscriptions now I'm looking at it.
I
I have a lot of graphic designers.
This is mine.
This is it. Or is this the most relevant? Can I go to all? We'll go A to Z.
Scroll through yours. Let me see how. Oh, you have way less.
Oh,
than me.
debate night is on mine.
Yeah, mine is like probably a couple.
You looking at your
hundred.
subscriptions?
Channel list.
Can you look at the number?
It doesn't say.
No.
But
I just scrolled. I don't have that many.
I'm just thinking to myself, mine's a lot, and also.
But this wasn't. I had a lot of YouTube channels.
As I
wait,
get
hold it up,
through-
Trevor. Let me see it. Like, just give me a scroll through. Oh, you do have a lot.
Yeah.
So this is mine.
still not
this
there.
is mine. You ready?
Okay. I think I have the most.
You definitely have more than me.
I think I have the most. I mean I did not mess around with the YouTube thing. Like it was no joke.
I think I was pretty intentional about unsubscribing when I stopped watching people too.
I'm not good at that.
Yeah, well that's the thing is whenever
Because back then, like
I'm literally
your home was your subscription.
The thing is too, like I'm subscribed to people, like I don't even remember subscribing to them. Like when did I? Some of these people, like I don't remember ever watching their channel.
Well, I clicked on. There's one or two on mine that I was like, who the heck is that person?
I swear YouTube has subscribed us to people because like there's
all of mine
way.
I clicked on. Like there's one called Jazza, and I was like, what the frick's Jazza? And then I clicked on him, and I forgot he was like the sickest illustrator of all time.
I guess what this comes down to is that literally
some people sell channels too.
That's true. But I think what this comes down to is like I was literally like I had an iPod Touch in 5th grade. So I was like 11 years old. That's when I started getting into YouTube. So like from like an 11-year-old up is my YouTube subscription. So there's probably something.
When I was really young,
crazy.
I was
I've
using my
never
mom-
unsubscribed to anybody.
I was using my mom's Gmail.
Oh, okay.
So I went from my mom's Gmail, then I started a YouTube channel, that magic one. I don't have access to that Gmail anymore. Then my Gmail I currently
Do you still have videos on YouTube?
I'm sure I do. I've never deleted them.
I want to find them.
You've definitely seen them before.
I don't think I have.
Trevor's made it a point to show like everyone.
You definitely have.
Maybe I
Yeah.
have then. I'm sorry.
Have you seen the Spanish Project?
Yeah, you've
Yes,
seen the
I've seen the
Spanish
Spanish
Project.
Project.
Yeah.
Love that.
So I think my subscriptions I have a lot more on other channels, but
That's possible. Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, I always watched YouTube to fall asleep at night, and then I'd watch it some in the morning.
It was just like the
My
only
thing was
I
like,
consumed.
If I had free time, I played video games with my brother a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Well, yeah, I mean, I did play video games a lot.
I didn't play video games.
And I watched sports.
Yeah.
But I mean, most
What
of
it really
didn't
comes
watch
down to is
sports.
I didn't have much of a life.
most of my
outside of like sports. Like
because I went to school. My school was, I would get to school at 7:45, 8, get out of school at 3. A lot of times I had basketball practice at 4, and then I'd be home, do homework for like 30
y'all
minutes.
also were both like in relationships.
Well, in 10th grade.
Yeah, like a good chunk of high school.
Well, yeah, but up to then. True. A lot of my
So
YouTube
I didn't
consumption.
I didn't have. Like,
a
there
lot
was
of my
nobody
YouTube,
I was hanging out with really.
A lot of my
during the
YouTube
week.
consumption in high school was during study halls because like my junior year I only had 3 classes, but my
Yeah.
3rd class was like 6th period, so I had 1st, 2nd, and 6th, and so our school wouldn't let you leave and come back for some reason. I mean, it makes sense, but back then it didn't.
You just have such a
3rd through 5th period, which was like 4 hours, I would do all my homework and then just be sitting there with nothing to do.
It's just the.
So I just watched
I
a
just don't
bunch of
have the
YouTube on
attention
I
span
didn't-
school
that I
computers.
used to.
I actually didn't watch a ton of YouTube whenever I was in high school. It wasn't until like my senior year of high school that I watched a lot of YouTube.
More so college.
In high school I just had the Office on. That's all I did.
Yeah.
And then I would make documents on my computer of different guitars that I wanted.
Yeah, that's true too. Because high school, I watched The Office, and then every Monday we had my brother and sister were all. Well, this was in high school. My middle school. My brother and sister were both in high school. So every Monday they had a big group over to play Polish ping pong. Every Wednesday they had a big group over to play Rock Band. So yeah, pretty much I only watched it when I was falling asleep. Because then once I got to college, I was working and playing disc golf. And then my junior year of college, I got married.
Yeah.
So I only ever watched it at night, really. I think that's why my consumption wasn't crazy.
Yeah, I think for me it was bigger in high school. But like my attention span just isn't what it used to be either. Like slowly has gotten like I don't even have the attention span really to binge watch TV.
You need to start building Legos, man. Get your attention span right back.
Entire childhood.
No, but you'll get you back
again?
now. You get one of those Lego cities.
Well, I can build Legos
I'll sit
all
down,
day.
and next thing I know, I'm 4 hours
take
in.
out a loan to afford them because they're so expensive.
But I mean, you got to think of how long it's gonna take. Like I paid $300 for this 3-story Lego thing. I've been working on it for like 3 weeks. And I'm only on story. I'm just starting story 2, story 3. So I mean, it's going to be months of entertainment for $300.
I was at a bachelor party the other weekend.
I don't know if I have the self control to stop building a Lego set until it's done.
I was at a bachelor party.
This one you wouldn't have an option.
Okay, challenge accepted.
I was at a bachelor party the other weekend, and one of the guys that whenever I read you guys that text, and he said that he was ready to build some Legos, it wasn't a joke.
Oh heck, yeah.
There was a Lego set there of the Millennium Falcon, and one night they were like, "We're gonna build this tonight," and it was like 12 o'clock, and I was like, "I gotta drive tomorrow. I'm gonna go to sleep." And so I went to sleep, and I woke up the next morning, and it was completely built downstairs.
Was it like
they said,
big one?
They said they spent like 5 hours doing it. It was like 4 guys. They spent 5 hours building it.
Because like there's 2 Millennium
It was
Falcons
like it was like this big.
Okay, so it might not have been the big one because there's one that's like, I mean, they're both big, but there's one that costs like, I forget how much that thing costs. It's hundreds.
It's like
and
it's the size of that TV. Width-wise.
It's like crazy
It wasn't
big.
quite. Yeah, it wasn't quite that big, but it was big though.
Yeah, no, even the other one is still a pretty big set. But yeah, because like I used to be able to just watch YouTube and like it would hold my attention, but these days, unless I'm like doing something else at the same time, like it's hard for me to just sit down and watch an entire YouTube video.
A good creator, you can. Like if Casey Neistat released a video right now that was 30 minutes long,
it's got to be the right thing.
I'm sitting there and my focus isn't snapping. But Casey knows how to
for
tell
me
a
to
story.
be like, yeah, for me to just like sit down and watch a video, it's got to be the right one.
MrBeast videos hold my attention because
Yeah,
he's so fast paced.
Fast, yeah.
You just and
he does
same with
get
Dude
me.
Perfect. Dude Perfect.
Yes,
they're
Dude
very
Perfect.
They're obviously childish, but they're very one thing to the next.
Yeah, I love Dude Perfect.
They know how to keep your attention.
They're the best.
They're incredible.
I saw their airsoft.
Where they're like
again, that one they were in the snow or whatever.
Yeah, so cool.
You just can't even believe how ridiculous those, like how well produced those videos are. Like I can't even imagine trying to edit those things. Oh my gosh! And then like all the
they have like a 4 or 5 person like production and editing team.
Yeah.
Well, no kidding. I mean, you're bringing in 50 million views a video.
Yeah.
No problemo. Here's 10 million views for you. Here's 10 million views for you.
Crazy.
That is crazy.
They just had their like 13-year anniversary. I think it was.
It is very interesting to think like those guys they're still very young. But like they're all starting
They're in their 30s.
Yeah, but like you're not like looking at them being like, oh my gosh, what are these old men doing?
No, but they'll be able to retire when they're like
Right.
low 40s. It wouldn't surprise me if
Well, and they're having families now. They're starting families, so like it's not gonna be long before it's like, okay, we want to be able to like spend time with our kids, like go to their baseball games, that sort of thing.
I think they have a lot more freedom to do stuff like that though. Because they don't put out videos that often. The ones they do put out are like high production and stuff.
It's tough to say.
But a lot of times they're not.
But they also go on tours.
Yeah, the tours.
That's no joke. So like they
it wouldn't surprise
it's
me
time-consuming.
if they started introducing like another
Right.
content creator.
I'm sure
like
that's
they
their
brought it
plan.
alongside, and it's like a succession plan
Yeah.
where the Dude Perfect our kids grow up with are like completely different guys.
Yeah.
Like the Wiggles.
Or
Right.
they might just end it. They might just
I doubt
retire.
that. It's such a big business.
Yeah.
I would imagine they'll eventually introduce new personalities and then they'll transition it. Maybe they'll make less and less appearances and then it'll slowly filter through. And
It's a
Good
tough
luck.
succession plan.
good luck.
Yeah.
It's tough to replace
But I
those
mean,
guys.
it's YouTube in general. Like, unless you're making a certain kind of content that gets to a point where you're like, I can't be 50 doing trick shots.
Yeah. The thing is too, like people will love the Dude Perfect personalities because like they're great. But as long as the trick shots and the videos are still produced and as creative as they are, I will still watch them.
Yeah, it's important how
Because they
like,
are one of a kind. Nobody else
Yeah.
is doing anything like that in the way that Dude Perfect is
Not
being
at
able
that
to do it.
scale.
Exactly. And I wouldn't write it off.
Yeah.
I love those guys.
No, they're all geniuses too. They'll find a way.
They'll figure it
They'll
out.
Drake Bell it.
They got a plan, man.
Love that.
Wow.
Drake Bell is like He's in Mexico, right?
Yeah, he lives in Mexico. All his
He's like a full Spanish.
all of his
he
music
not-
is in Spanish.
Was he not sentenced to prison?
I think he was.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're
Definitely
right.
think he
was
was.
found guilty.
But he's in Mexico, though.
Well, he like confessed. I think.
Not a good guy, yeah.
No, never claimed he was a good guy. I just think it's crazy. Like
It is probably the most wild career pivot.
his
of all
plan,
time.
like, was because him and Josh both had just capture on our generation.
Yeah.
Like they could have been in anything; it would have been successful.
Yeah.
But then Drake Bell, just next thing you know, he's just in Mexico.
Yeah, I think part of it was to avoid those charges.
Well, I'm sure.
Well,
But
that was part of it. Also, the majority of his audience was Hispanic.
Yeah.
I don't really know why.
Fascinating.
It's very
Yeah.
crazy. Is the weirdest like career pivot of all time.
Yeah.
Just like
What is Josh doing nowadays? I always see
He's
him on
in,
YouTube.
he's in some
stuff.
like indie movies and shows
But
and stuff.
Josh is big on social media.
Yeah, he does a lot
Oh,
on YouTube.
that is true, but
Because he's
I-
in the vlog squad with
Well,
David Dobrik a lot.
Gotcha.
I don't know if he still is, but he's big on TikTok,
Yeah.
Instagram, that sort of deal. To where the brand deals alone, he can rake in a lot, and he probably. I wouldn't bet he does a podcast because everybody does. So,
Yeah, he does. I've listened to it once or twice.
Yeah.
So
So
podcasts are kind of lame these days.
Yeah.
yeah,
You have to be a loser to
Stupid
want to be on a
podcast, dude.
podcast. What is his
course.
podcast named? Josh Peck Podcast.
yeah.
I wonder if his podcast has a plan going into it.
Hey, most of ours do.
Most of ours do. We plan out all of our disc golf podcasts. I feel like this
I know, I was
podcast
just
is
having-
best when we
That's
don't.
the point,
I'm sorry.
Connor.
I was just making
Dude,
a joke.
It's called
I am really
Curious.
sorry.
Curious with. No, I can't. That's not the same Josh Peck.
That's Posh Jack.
I've only seen like one movie with Josh Peck in it. It was called Red Dawn.
Yeah, I remember that one.
It's a decently entertaining
4 days ago,
movie. It's
Josh
a
Peck was
little
giving away
unbelievable.
$10,000 with TurboTax.
See, there you go.
Wow.
See, he's got.
Okay, all right, hold on. I've got some beef.
He has 2.6 million
You got
followers
beef?
on Twitter.
Hunter, you might not want to listen to this because you might flare up because I've got some beef. Get it? 'Cause
funny.
red meat allergy.
Let's hear it.
You guys see those links everywhere on YouTube that's like MrBeast is giving away $750 to every person that clicks on this link?
yeah,
They're all
they're scams.
Yeah, I know. I hate.
Did you click one?
Yeah,
One
he
time.
definitely did.
Oh my gosh.
It was like It was like on YouTube. It was like MrBeast's channel,
Yeah.
and
It's a scam.
I clicked. It's not like a scam, as in like I'm gonna get like a
No,
virus. Or
you're already
anything.
dead.
Because it's like but I clicked on it and I was like, well, let me see how to win $750. Every person that clicks on this link gets $750.
Just think
here-
if that was real.
Here's what I will give you.
That's what
credit-
you have to do the
but-
test, the
but
eye test of.
Here's what I will
if
give
that
you
was
credit
real,
for, though, is because MrBeast is the only person out there that would do something like that.
No, because 10 million people would
No,
click on the
okay,
link,
but you
and
do
that'd be
it-
$7.5 billion.
No, it would be out there for like a couple minutes, and you would have that fleeting thought of like, am I about to see a MrBeast video tomorrow and realize that I didn't click this link? I think
Yeah.
that's why it is probably
But
was
just
a
to be clear,
successful scam.
it's not like I was.
but you still
on-
shouldn't click on it.
It's not like I was on some pirating movie website and saw a MrBeast link and clicked on it. It was like I'm on YouTube and MrBeast channel has like a paid ad
yeah, but
on
the
there.
title of the channel is Mr. Beast Channel.
But at least then I knew that. But
That
at
was-
least then
that
I
was the
knew.
issue.
At least then I knew it wasn't like a virus or something.
You don't know
Good
that.
point.
I do know that.
I've seen those links.
You haven't seen them close enough.
You're right. I didn't click on it.
Yeah, I did click on it one time in a time of weakness. Okay.
It's all right.
And I haven't clicked on it since. And you know what? Honestly, it makes me not like MrBeast as much.
It had nothing to do with that.
You don't think so?
I know he didn't.
Yeah, I'm sure he didn't.
He has bars. We should get some Mr. Beast
no,
bars. with
I told you I
Feastable.
don't like him anymore.
I love Mr. Beast. Jimmy, me and him go way back.
Dude,
Jimmy?
MrBeast.
Hey,
really.
Greenville, North Carolina.
Yeah, he is like sneaky close.
dude.
Isn't that
Does
crazy?
he actually
grew up in the
operate?
same-
Does he
he grew-
actually operate out of there?
Yeah.
He grew up in the same town as the guitar player for my band.
Oh, that's cool.
No, bassist for my
Greenville.
band.
Ryan?
Yep.
MrBeast
Wow.
is the craziest because I was
He's
still
known me so
watching.
well.
I was still watching YouTube when he emerged onto the scene, just doing the videos where he would like count to 1,000,000.
Yeah, I remember those.
Like that's people forget that like
he
that's how he
grinded.
started.
He would sit there in a chair and count to whatever and say what did he say? He said, was it PewDiePie that he said? He said some YouTuber
Yeah,
like
yeah.
100,000 times.
He is the craziest success story.
It was PewDiePie.
and because he basically just did something that
he
nobody
would torture
else.
himself.
Then when he started doing the like his next bit that got him big was giving away money, and that's still to this day is basically what's making him big. And well, amongst
Why do people
amongst a
like
lot of other
watching that
things.
so much? It's crazy.
Well, his production
Who
value,
wouldn't?
and what he does is actually incredible.
When it
these
started,
days.
it wasn't.
No, but
His concepts are just so good.
he is
and his
doing something that
thumbnails.
nobody else is willing to do, which is basically give away his profits, almost all of them, in order to fund his next video. And obviously,
Yeah.
it's super risky, but like props to him. And
Well,
I'm
he
sure
said,
I'm sure he's investing what he does keep in. Like,
Well, a lot of the money he makes is from merch and stuff like
he's
that.
got crypto punks.
Did you watch his
Merch is the
interview with
lifeblood.
Casey Neistat? Casey Neistat interviewed him.
I
I've
think
seen
I
part
saw
of
that.
it.
I watched a podcast. It was like an hour long. I'm trying to think. It might have been the 100 Thieves podcast had him on.
He was also an Impulsive.
No, I didn't watch the Impulsive
I
one.
think he was.
He definitely was. But this one, they were asking him like his whole strategy with YouTube and stuff, and he said that there was a point where he was getting big on YouTube, and he knew the titles with money in them were doing good, and he was also like a biggest student of YouTube before. Like he's not like a wild success. Like how did he get there? Like strike of luck.
Yeah,
like
he tried.
He studied which color in my thumbnail does better type of success story where he just like analytics were that guy's friend. But he said that like his videos had started taking off. I want to say he had like, it was something crazy, like 10 or 20,000 in the bank account from his videos.
Mm-hmm.
And he told his mom, he said, yeah, our next video is giving away 20,000. She goes, you can afford that? And he was like, well, I have it in the bank. And she's like, but is that all you have in the bank? He's like, yeah. And she's like, well, no, like she told him multiple times that you cannot do that. Don't do it. And he goes, well, no, mom, like it's going to make me more money. And it's like, that's the video.
That's crazy to have the guts.
Because I forget,
Yeah.
the first thing he was doing was the Twitch donations.
Yeah.
That was the one. He would just go to people with like no viewers and donate a ton
Yeah.
of money.
And so he said like that was his model for a while is he would do a video or do a sponsorship, get the money, give that money away. His bank account would go back to zero. And he would basically was just living on ramen and stuff. And then video would pop off. He'd
That's
get,
so
thousands of dollars, give it away in the next video. And then he just kept, and I think that's still his model to a certain extent is like his YouTube money he gives away. And then, I mean, merch, he did a video where
He's got a
signed,
restaurant.
he signed what, 53,000 t-shirts or something like that? Or which
brings
means he
in extra
sold
money.
53,000 t-shirts. Like,
Yeah, true.
I mean,
Yeah,
the guy moves merch and now these Feastable bars, the MrBeast
the burgers. Man. Yeah, he's got all kinds of other stuff.
And obviously sponsorship
that's the
deals.
play is like, because like, then the YouTube will just kind of
YouTube, he can just kind of churn through.
But I mean, his videos are great. He has a great strategy.
Yeah.
He appeals to people like me who are 23 years old, and then I'm sure 8-year-olds. Like
I haven't watched one of his videos in a really long time.
because
I should though.
they're kid friendly.
How long?
A while.
You'd be shocked at what they're like.
They're a
now.
really
Really?
good time.
Like
They're so fast
his
and
Squid
like
Games. We talked about it, didn't we? He pitched.
Oh,
he
it's the
pitched
craziest
the
thing.
real
It was
life.
so awesome.
He pitched
Netflix.
He pitched Netflix on. It might have been the Squid Games. He pitched Netflix on. Yeah, it was the Squid Games in real life, and they said no, and so he decided to put his own time and money in, and his goal was to get more views than the whole Squid Game series
And he
got for
literally
Netflix, and he did it in like
crazy.
He
24
literally
hours.
paid to recreate like his recreation of that set was like one.
He hired.
It was incredible.
He hired like full 3D VR teams to build out like people were walking across the bridge.
Yeah,
and
part of
they-
the sets were real, and
they
then part
built
of them,
out
Yeah.
beneath.
So
them.
like you
VFX.
like they actually like Netflix probably did for the show.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
He like put I forget how much money he put so much money in, but it was basically like a screw you to Netflix. Like if you don't think
I
that
think
my
it
show's
cost him,
gonna do
like,
good,
$1.4
then
million or something.
I'm
That's
gonna
crazy.
yeah. Then he's like I'm just gonna put my own money into it.
It was incredible.
And I think 111 million was what Squid Games did, and MrBeast's Squid Games is at
I want to watch that video. So bad now.
239 million views.
It is incredible.
So it got more than double what Netflix brought in with Squid Games. So he basically did it as like, hey, fine, then I'll do it myself and get more views than your best show ever. That's basically why he
I love that.
decided that.
That's amazing.
I'm itching to watch that now.
And it all started with he did like a TikTok and said like, if this gets X amount of likes, I'll recreate Squid Games in real life. And it like blew the amount of likes out of the water.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a genius. Gosh, he's good.
Mr. Beast, man.
Mr.
How, what,
Beast.
is he?
Would
How
be
many
nice being one of
subscribers is
his
he at now?
friends. I have no idea. He's not even close. If you're asking,
No, I know he's not close to
so he's
PewDiePie
not
or
close
anything
to
yet.
PewDiePie,
But
but
multiple people have said that Mr. Beast will be the first YouTube billionaire. He's at 93.5 million subscribers.
I don't know. The thing about YouTube is like if you want to get to that kind of level, you have to make a really long.
PewDiePie
run.
is only at 111 million.
What's Mr. Beast at?
93.5.
Wow. So he will
Damn.
catch
I think
him.
isn't
He
it
will-
T something?
He will catch him.
What's the T series?
T-Series? They're just bots.
213 million.
Yeah, there's.
What even is T series?
It's like Indian.
398.
television.
They're
It's a
This
Indian
video-
music videos.
It's like
8
Bollywood.
hours ago, 11,000 views.
Yeah, they're all bots.
Like, that's all fake.
Subscribers, Yeah.
That's so stupid.
The thing is, yeah, with like becoming a billionaire, you just have to have a really long run on YouTube, and he's had a good run. But like to have the like PewDiePie's longevity, and obviously he's not as big as
I've never seen a PewDiePie video.
but he's had a very long run
Does
of
he
like
still do things?
yeah.
What is PewDiePie? Give me a PewDiePie's channel.
I'm pretty sure these days he's back to doing a lot of gaming stuff.
So he's a gamer.
He has gone. Well, he has gone. He started in gaming. He then did a lot of reaction type stuff.
I mean, his videos are getting kind of nothing compared to like MrBeast and Dude Perfect.
Right.
Like 2-3 million.
Right. But what I'm saying about PewDiePie is, though his views are nothing like they once were, he still is getting a lot of views to where like his channel is by no means dead. And he's been doing this since like I was in elementary school.
So PewDiePie's recent videos are like 1.4, 2.3, 1.4 million. MrBeast's recent videos 29 million, 43 million,
If
81 million, 61 million,
That
49
is so
million,
many
63
people.
million,
Yeah.
239
That is so many
million.
people.
If PewDiePie, if you got his active subscribers, it's probably closer to 10 million.
His worst video performance wise in the last 6 months. You can go farther back, even farther back. Okay, holy cow. In the last over a year, his worst performing video has 43 million views.
That's incredible. That I don't know if anybody's had a run like that ever.
There's 329 million people in America.
Yeah. I don't know if MrBeast, I don't know if
That's
anybody's
a lot
had,
more people than I thought.
I don't know if anybody has had a run like that. I think because even PewDiePie, look at PewDiePie.
Okay, here we go. You have to go back over a year to find one with less than 43 million views.
That is ridiculous.
Because PewDiePie, I mean, he back in his heyday, he was getting consistently 10 to 12 million, I want to say, on a lot of his stuff.
Well, the thing is, subscribing nowadays is nowhere near like it was back in PewDiePie's heyday.
Right.
Subscribing was how you watch their videos.
Right.
Nowadays, you can MrBeast.
He's all over.
I don't even know if I'm subscribed to MrBeast.
Yeah,
it just pops up.
He's just all over YouTube. They push him.
Let's just view PewDiePie's most popular video.
It's gonna be. He's gonna.
303 million.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna have
B-word lasagna.
He's gonna have some stuff that's very.
It's
high
called
up
what?
there.
B-word lasagna.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
As in
I've never.
it was a music
I've,
video.
I've never watched a
Oh,
PewDiePie
yeah.
video. I'm trying to see if there's like a stretch where they're all around the same.
I want to say.
Seems like 6 to 8 years ago, his videos have like 30 mil,
Yeah, he may have had a stretch that was that much.
but they're not all consistently like that.
That being said, though, 6 to 8 years ago, that many views
Was a
compared
lot.
on YouTube's growth, like, is pretty
Yeah.
comparable. But this run that MrBeast is on has been ridiculous, and I don't know. Like now that he's gotten his videos to where like the last one I watched, he was giving away $10,000 a day
Every
to this
day.
guy.
Yeah.
Like I feel like he's gotten to the point now where like he's caught up to inflation to the point where like $10,000 today or a year from now is still a lot of money for a day. So like I don't know that
Yeah.
he's well. I'm just saying like
$10,000 in a day is a lot.
well
of
no
money.
I'm saying like
If he did $1,000 every day, you survive
my
prison.
point, Hunter, is that he doesn't have to keep elevating his budget if he doesn't want to. He has like with the budget he has established right now, which is like $1 million a video. That's gonna keep its punch as long as it's paying for.
Yeah.
But I feel like he's the type of guy who's gonna want to keep
No, he's gonna
raising
keep
it.
going. I'd be curious.
That's where it's gonna get dangerous.
If he did like giving away $1 million and giving away $10,000, like how much the amount of money in the title affects it.
Oh, I'm sure it's a lot.
You think?
Well, I mean,
I think
it's
it's a
not
lot
always. It's
just
not always the
because-
money though, because this one he was kind
Like
of
some of these, like I spent 50 hours buried alive, 170 million views. I spent 50 hours in solitary confinement, 175 million views.
That's to say, a lot of times he doesn't even need to use the money. Like this last one I watched, it was like, wasn't the title of that apartment one like a prison?
No, it says
twist?
$10,000 every day you survive prison.
Okay, so it does have money in that one, but a lot of them don't, and the money just is part
I
of the
want
video.
to.
His
I
most
now
popular
am gonna
videos-
binge so many.
It's very
MrBeast
easy to binge
videos.
because they're not even long. Either.
No. Well, the
Like,
Squid
some-
Games is 25 minutes,
some of
but
them
most of them
but-
are like a little over 10.
Yeah, like not that long ago, I just kind of went on a streak where I just kept kind of scrolling through them and watching them because, yeah, they're just so entertaining, and he is so fast paced. Nothing is slow.
Forgot a year ago he did The Last to Leave This Island Keeps It.
Yeah, he gave away an island.
$800,000 island.
The amount of money that has changed that man's hand in the last couple years.
I would hate to be his accountant.
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'm sure they have a pretty good system at this point, probably because he's probably operating as if he was like a car business or something. Like it's got to be.
Oh, those are the crazy. Have you seen those where he buys an entire car lot?
Yeah,
and just makes
gives
them free.
away.
Or sometimes pays people to take cars.
So crazy.
They come in, they're like, he's like, how much are you gonna pay for this car? They're like,
he did that
a few
with,
$100 bucks.
He
He
did
goes,
that with
no.
a house too.
How about free? They're like, free? He goes, geez, you drive a tough bargain. I'll put a full gallon of gas in it. They're like, what? And he's like, I'll pay you $500 if you take the car right now.
Yeah, he's
done it with houses several.
Crazy.
My favorite one was he bought a house and then called Domino's delivery and then gave the Domino's driver the key when he showed up. He's like, this is your house. This is your house now.
Yeah, he just does these things that nobody else will do because they're just too ridiculous.
Yeah.
And he does it. And you just you think to yourselves, that couldn't be real. And yet it is. It is real.
Well, like you question it and then you're like, no, it's MrBeast. Like he literally doesn't fake anything. This dude said PewDiePie 100,000 times. Like you think he's going to fake giving away a house?
Yeah, he ran a drive-through at his MrBeast burger place where he gave away money and free food to everybody, and like he clogged up an entire highway.
Yeah, it was like on the
That's
news.
how you know that stuff is happening for real, because like
it was on the news.
People were there. It was on the news. Like he was actually doing that, just handing away stacks of cash to people and like iPads. Like he's awesome. MrBeast is awesome.
That is crazy.
Fascinating stuff. No one's even really trying it.
Because nobody.
Because like, why would you?
Like, yeah, it's risky.
You can't top it.
Yeah.
Because it's not like you can start a channel right now and be like, all right, you know what? We're giving away $1 million our first video.
He's buried everybody.
10 views. Oh!
Yeah, it is a crazy gamble. YouTube.
All right. Best goose impression.
I can't do a goose. I got chased by a goose.
No.
I could show everybody a bonus video of me getting chased by one.
Does that count?
Does that count? Hold on.
I don't even know how to respond to that.
I ran. Basically, I saw a goose in a parking lot and decided to just sprint at it full speed. It was never going to actually do anything to it, but I was just curious to see like how badly it would get angry at me. Very stupid idea.
I can't. What does a goose sound like? Yes.
Oh, there you go. Okay, here it is.
I used to be really good at it. I'm not good at it anymore.
That's like a seagull kind of though.
It is kind of seagull.
I can't see. They
Oh,
definitely
wow. That goose is really coming after you. Holy
it
crap.
flew after me for
Let
a
me
good
see it
few
again.
feet.
I've definitely seen it before.
It reared up and then it got after me for a little bit. Like, what was that thing going to do to me?
It was gonna peck you to death.
I literally thought I was about
Geese
to
are
get mauled
mean.
by a goose.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're
geese
real
suck.
mad. They're kind of the worst.
But
There's
you know the
crap
cool thing
everywhere.
about geese? They
Suck.
mate for life with the same. Once their partner dies, they never have another partner. They stay alone.
Maybe that's why they're so
They're
angry and
monogamous.
crabby.
Have you ever seen? Good luck explaining that one. Have you ever seen the movie? Have you ever seen the movie where the girl like takes care of like the geese and then their mom dies or something to where she like acts as the mother goose and flies. Yeah, I think it's.
Called Mother Goose.
I'm gonna sound really stupid if it's not a true story. I feel like it low key
She
might
flies?
be, but she creates a little like air glider thing. Like they build it, and then she basically trains them to follow her so that she can help them migrate. Like she is the mother goose that's leading them south from Canada. It's a very popular movie. It might have been at Disney.
Never heard of it.
Is it a cartoon?
Nope. Hold on. Let me
Is
find
it called Moana?
No.
Encanto.
It's a little bit older, but no, it's a pretty popular.
They're not
well-known
talking about
movie.
Bruno.
Gosh, what's this thing called?
I've never heard of this story.
Goose movie.
No, I don't think I've heard this.
Fly
one.
Away Home is what it's
Nope.
called.
Yeah, I think you're talking.
What year
about,
did it come out?
You're talking about Up with all the balloons.
It came out. I think
That's
it was
what
a
he's thinking.
96.
No. He's thinking of High School Musical.
It was a 90s movie.
No, you're thinking about West Side Story.
Oh, you're right.
He's thinking about 50 First Dates.
No, he's thinking 50 Shades of Grey. You're thinking of thinking of
Listen.
Grown Ups.
Justice for Fly Away Home. It made $36 million in the box office.
That's nothing, right?
Oh, for the 90s, like that's not bad.
What did Space Jam make? That was 90s.
Well, yeah, Space Jam is also had Michael Jordan on the cover of it. We're not gonna.
This had a goose on the cover. Who do you think more people in
Wait,
the world know?
yeah,
Michael
what do you
Jordan or a
think-
goose?
No, it is okay. I don't. It is actually a true. It is a true story. Oh, it's a
What
drama.
do you think there's more of in the world? Do you think Michael Jordan could beat all the geese in the world?
Yeah.
Stupid.
Clearly not. Imagine if they were on Space Jam.
It's a drama.
I think would've broke the internet.
dramatization of a true experience. Like somebody actually learned to do that.
Imagine the Monstars versus Geese.
I want a T-shirt that is just the Space Jam cover, but with a goose in place of Michael Jordan.
Heck yeah.
A goose definitely would have made the new one sell better.
Yeah.
Fly away
honestly.
home. I still haven't seen the new one.
I haven't either.
I'm boycotting it.
I was
Yeah, me
scared.
too.
I was scared though they were gonna ruin
I
it.
love Space Jam. Is
And from
probably
how much
my most
people
watched movie
hated
of all
it,
time.
they must have ruined it.
I'm sure they did.
You just can't recreate something like that.
No, Space Jam.
No, you can't.
That is like it's a cult classic, and a cult classic movie being one that technically isn't the greatest movie, but like it just stuck with people and it's quotable and like rewatchable. You can't remake those. Like they were a one-time thing.
Yeah.
Because like, you try to remake it and it's like, okay, this is ridiculous. Because yeah, so was the first one, but that's what made it beautiful.
My favorite line in that movie.
They need to
which
recreate it
I know
with a
I've said
goose,
this
though.
before, but this line is worth saying again. My favorite line in that movie is whenever Bill Murray runs out onto the basketball court and the announcer goes, "How did Dan Aykroyd get in this picture?"
Yep.
I don't know why that line made me laugh so hard.
He has like the smallest No, the best is when they're golfing at the beginning, and him and Larry Bird and Michael Jordan are golfing, and he's like, he's so funny. He's like asking them if he could play in the league in the NBA, and Michael's like, no chance, and he goes, it's because I'm white, isn't it? And he goes. Michael's like, no, of course not. Like Larry played. Larry's white. He goes, Larry is not white. Larry is clear. Like he just says stuff that makes no sense, but the delivery is it's the best.
The funniest thing
so
about
funny in
that
that
is
movie.
that we can all remember as a society that Michael Jordan made out with Bugs Bunny.
Yeah. Like Michael Jordan was in that movie. Like that is so weird.
I want to get. They definitely make it the like Gatorade bottle that just says secret
Yeah.
stuff on it.
I have a Space Jam T-shirt.
I want that bottle. I want to drink out of that every day.
So for Michael Jordan,
I'd be so much better at sports.
Let's get a Space Jam sponsorship.
for them to get Michael Jordan,
I don't know how that would work.
to shoot that movie, because this was like actually during his basketball career, they had to build him an entire gym on set with locker rooms and everything, and like a pool room, and like there needed to be like a gambling room because he was a gambling addict, and it cost him like $30,000 to air condition it every day.
What?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah.
Because he had to practice.
You have to
Oh,
understand.
true. That
You
makes
have to
sense.
understand how ridiculous it was to get Michael Jordan like in the midst of his career. Like he was
Yeah,
a
that makes
god
sense.
to basketball players. To shoot a Bugs Bunny movie, like it's just an absurd like thing that happened.
Worth it.
Yeah.
Worth it, yeah. Awesome movie. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I wish I would have been around for like when it came out.
That was incredible.
You weren't. Were you alive? I don't think so. I think it was probably like just before you were.
I watched that movie in theater 2 years ago.
Oh.
Did they put it in like the venue cinemas?
Yes. It was
Yeah,
so
it was
much fun.
November 15th, 96. So it was like 6 months before I was born.
Oh, not quite.
When it came out.
Probably wouldn't have even been in theater. Probably just gone to VHS.
Yep.
I had it on VHS growing up.
Didn't we all? Like Mike, that was a great movie.
Mike was a good
With
movie
Lil
too.
Bow
You guys
Wow.
have both seen that one too?
Yeah, whenever
That's
his
probably
foot,
number
whenever his
2.
foot rips through his Converse.
Yeah, that's probably number 2 on my most watched movies.
I'm not gonna lie, that's the only thing I remember from that movie is whenever his foot rips through his
What's
Converse.
Lil Bow Wow up to now?
Is that what happens in that movie? Does that happen in
That
that
does
movie?
in the end.
Okay, I just
because
wanted to make sure.
so the shoe's given the powers because they were like Michael
Yeah,
Jordan's
that's
old
right,
shoe.
that's right.
And in the final game, he rips it and he has to like finish one more play, which is
With
a
like,
normal shoe.
And Tracy McGrady was like
and
the
he
stuff.
he
in that.
pump fakes Vince Carter, I'm pretty sure, like into the Raptors and goes under his legs, like ridiculous. But great
That's
time.
it. Now that you say that, I remember a lot more of that movie, and I love that movie.
That was a
It's
great
a great
movie.
time.
Great
Yeah.
movie.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful story. Foster kid.
Whatever happened to T-Mac?
It's so crazy. My
Tracy
two
McGrady.
favorite movies, Like Mike and Magic Mike.
You know what Tracy McGrady did? So his career fizzled out a little earlier than a lot of other people's.
He was like the stuff.
Yeah,
When I was
his
young.
career fizzled out, and then he at one point tried to make a comeback for a minor league baseball team as a pitcher.
Heck yeah.
Didn't really.
He does analyst now, right?
He might. He was Tracy McGrady was disgusting.
So was Agent Zero, Gilbert Arenas.
yes, well
He had a much different ending
yeah,
for his
he
career.
got bounced out of the league for possession of firearms
in his locker room. Yeah.
He was a little bit of a dummy.
He played for the Wizards though, and you'd go and they had like
He was like the first thing to make the Wizards relevant.
The Wizards had like a fan
I guess
section
Michael Jordan was
that just like said Agent Zero.
He was
and that
good.
was like his section.
He was on the cover of NBA Live 08. I had it on my PlayStation Portable.
He was sick. Tracy McGrady, what's he up to now?
Yeah, the old
PSP.
PlayStation Portable, I think, was like this thick. Then they had like discs, little mini discs that went in it.
I remember
They
that.
were very fragile.
What?
I want Wizards.
I
with
googled
the Wizards
Tracy
logo on there.
McGrady, and then one of the recommended things is what disease does Yao Ming have? And then I clicked it, and it says Yao Ming was diagnosed with rare case of Tracy McGrady disease.
Oh, it's an
What
article.
does that mean?
2009. I'm assuming it's no, because
It's probably like saying that
he definitely got destroyed by Tracy McGrady at some point.
they were on a team.
I don't know. Just
He probably like maybe they're saying he was getting held back
I have no idea.
by a team act, hogging the ball too much. Yao Ming, another guy who had a kind of short NBA career, but that was dominant.
I didn't know he
Hall
was a
of
real
Famer.
person.
Yao Ming.
He's the only person
Did
I've
you
ever
really
seen
not?
make.
I really didn't. I don't
Really?
know who that is.
He's a Hall of Fame basketball player.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
he's the only person I've ever seen make
Chinese
Shaq look like a
basketball
normal sized
player.
human.
He's like
He's like 7'6".
7 something.
Wow.
Yeah, he was good.
What?
He's
Okay,
very good.
I was about to say, was he good or was he just really tall?
No, Hall of Fame.
Well, he was good because he's
wow.
really tall.
He's in the Hall of
Okay,
Fame.
yeah.
If he wasn't tall, like he couldn't move much or anything.
Yeah.
He was
He was just-
I mean, he was relatively mobile.
It was just he was so big.
He was talented, but he was kind of one of the first of that size.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's not like
That Rockets team
nowadays.
was-
I'm looking him up.
Nowadays you have like Kevin Durant, 7 foot, but handles like a point guard. That wasn't Yao Ming.
Yeah.
Yao Ming was like your true
True big
7
man.
footer.
He that Rockets team was good.
Oh yeah, I recognize him.
Yeah,
Did y'all
he
see
was
the
a meme for a while.
He's very tall.
it was during the Masters. They had Charles Barkley in an AT&T
I mean, he's
commercial.
beside Shaq
And they were like, "Oh, it's Charles Barkley." All these kids, and he's like, "Hey, kids," and he's like, they said something about someone said, "Who is that?" And then like one of the other kids responded, he goes, "He has a really bad golf swing."
Oh man!
And then they're like, "What?" And then they all start pulling it up, like it's all on all the screens. And Charles Barkley's like, "No, guys, I played basketball. I was a really good basketball player." He's like, "Google me, look up Charles Barkley basketball." And all the kids are like, "No, look at his golf swing." And then he pushes one of the kids out of the way. He's like, "Let me get on here." He's like, "See, right here. Here's my highlights. I was good at basketball."
if you're ever listen, I was guilty of like not really knowing about Charles Barkley very much.
He was dirty.
If you look up that guy's highlights of like his early time in the league, incredible.
He was a
like
machine.
he was Blake Griffin before there was Blake Griffin.
Yeah.
Just throwing down dunks, grabbing rebounds.
Well, I think what it is like a
He was
lot of
insane.
guys nowadays post NBA still look athletic. Charles Barkley does not look
well,
athletic.
there isn't.
right
well,
now.
even during his career towards the end,
No, he
they
just
called
didn't-
him the round mound rebound.
Yeah, he never, even when he was like at his peak athleticism,
Yeah, he was
just,
doughy. He just was
he was
a
like
freak
Big Baby
athlete.
Davis.
Yeah,
where he just
Well, he
never
wasn't that big.
looked. Yeah, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like Big Baby Davis never looked like
No.
ripped athletic, but he could just body people.
Yeah.
Big Baby Davis knocked JJ Redick out of the March Madness his senior year.
What
LSU.
school did he go? LSU.
And they credited his footwork to being a ballerina when he was younger, and that really hurt as a JJ Redick fan.
I'm sure it did.
That's all I'll say on the matter.
Yeah, Charles Barkley. What I will say though, like if you were rich, you have no excuse not to be good at golf.
I'm just looking at pictures of Yao Ming.
I like to think.
Sorry.
I like to think that
Got
I'll
distracted.
always have that card in my back pocket. That if I was able to afford just the best golf lessons out there, I would be incredible. And nobody can prove me wrong. So
Well, when you look at the statistics, then you would be.
oh my gosh, my legs.